Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast. As usual, life could be a little bit miserable, life could be a little bit dark, but we're here to bring you plenty of light and plenty of joy, because we are the light of your lives. I'm Bradley, joined by the Archangel himself, Stu. I nearly called you Joe, don't know why.
I will choose not to take that as an insult. Yeah, no.
I just don't know why the name Joe came into my mind all of a sudden.
The Archangel Joe? Yeah, could be. I don't know. Yeah, but I am the sunshine of your life. Yeah, and I will always be around. Yeah.
Is this a Christmas episode? I don't know. Or is next week's a Christmas episode?
I don't know. It's between two stools this year. It's a bit funny. I'll probably put the jingle bells on this episode. Yeah, so we'll call it the Christmas one.
Fair enough. So, Merry Christmas to all the decent people out there. Not Joey Barton, though. Do you know who Joey Barton is?
Yeah, and I know that he was an absolute tosser when he was a player. Like, he was always, like, kicking people and breaking their legs and stuff.
Would it shock you to know he's even more of a tosser now he doesn't play football anymore?
Do you know, it doesn't shock me. No.
And he's a massive misogynist who hates women.
Oh, yeah, no, that's no surprise whatsoever.
As opposed to the other misogynists who don't hate women. I don't know. I didn't need to do that bit, did I? Yeah. He's got an issue with women doing football commentary and punditry and just being on TV in sports. And he's been kicking off at Alex Scott. You know, everyone loves Alex Scott. She's the best. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not a football fan or anything, Alex Scott's Alex Scott. She's brilliant. She's a hero to so many and gives inspiration to so many young girls. So
she's great.
Leave Alex Scott alone. So he's picked the bone with Alex Scott. And now he's picked the bone with Mary Earps, the England goalie, because she won Sports Personality of the Year last night.
How? Well, it doesn't make any sense.
How dare she? How dare she? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, God, yeah, of course, that's how I feel about women, yeah.
It's why didn't Ronnie O'Sullivan or Frankie Dettori win it? Their genius is in their field, whereas Mary Earps is a sack of spuds, playing a girls' game.
What?
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if people want to check out my Twitter, I'm usually calm and reserved, but as we all know, my daughter loves football. My daughter loves being a goalie. My daughter loves Mary Earps. My daughter wants to be future England and Liverpool goalie, although Mary Earps plays for United, but we'll let that slide. And yeah, so I called him. I asked, did he have an issue with Damon Hill winning Sports Personality of the Year when he lost the title, the World Drivers' Championship, to Michael Schumacher? We didn't have an issue celebrating mediocrity back then, did we, Joey? We didn't have an issue with it when it was men who were mediocre. But if we can't do it for a woman who didn't win the World Cup, but is an absolute light of inspiration to so many. And I said, is that the issue, Joey? Or are you just a misogynistic skeleton warrior?
Yeah.
Which people should get that reference if they listen to us and listen to a certain other YouTuber.
Yeah, I mean, even the Damon Hill comparison is like being generous, because that's an individual sport, not a team sport. You can be like the greatest team player and be a miracle of a goalie, and your team loses, and it's nothing to do with you. Whereas if you're, Damon what's his face, if you lose, that's on you, So that makes even less sense. None of it makes sense.
There's a whole bunch of Formula One fans absolutely foaming at the mouth right now. By the way, you say that, because it is a team sport with all the pit crews and everything. But I get what you're saying.
That's what I say to that.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Ronnie O'Sullivan. Right. I think he's one of the greatest sports people who's ever lived. I think he's like, oh my God, the fact we get to witness that greatness is amazing. But personality, we are stretching the definition of having a personality now.
Did he win the UK Championship or something?
Yeah, probably. Yes, he did.
Probably.
He won the UK. Yeah, he's always won it. Yeah, he won it. In the same week, he went, I can't be arsed with snooker anymore. I'm not even trying to win. And then won the the UK Championship. So
yeah, well,
because that's what
it is, and he's got all sorts of issues that mean he always says he's giving up and hasn't, because he's the same age as me. Within one day, he was born the day before me or the day after me or something. Yeah. So yeah, He's
That could have been you.
47 years old and he's still winning this stuff. That's pretty amazing. And it could have been me.
Yeah,
it could have been me.
Well, he's the youngest ever winner and the oldest ever winner. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And the most exciting snooker player of all time by a comfortable margin.
Oh yes, on the table, but he doesn't have a personality.
Nah, not so much.
It's the same with Steve Davis when he played. He didn't have much of a personality. He does now, Steve Davis. He's a hilarious guy.
Well, do you know, he's always... We're going off on a massive tangent here, but he has always been funny. He was,
he's dry.
You know the promoter? Oh, I can't remember his name now. The big snooker promoter who basically stole all of the boxing paraphernalia and way of...
Frank Warren?
That's him, yeah. He he was starting up and copying all of that boxing style, he's like, everybody has to have an image, everyone has to have a gig, everybody has to have a style, and his was, you're going to be the dry, boring guy, and he gave him that, so I stopped him being a personality. There's a
which is weird because Steve Davis lived in a castle just outside Avondale in Essex,
exactly. The kid's got some moxie, as they said back in the 50s. Anyway, video games, Brad.
Rizz. Is it Rizz, they say these
That's
days?
It. Word of the year, apparently, I found out today. Yeah.
I heard it the other day. I was like, okay. I thought it was some kind of sex thing, but apparently it's not.
No. I think of Riz Ahmed immediately.
Yeah. But anyway, something that people from the 50s and their moxie, the kids of today and their Rizz, and misogynistic skeleton warriors like Joey Barton can all agree on. Video games, Stu.
Exactly.
They're not woke.
No.
They're not ticking agendas or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, okay. We'll go with that.
What's on your woke agenda,
woke
Stu?
agenda. Yeah. Well, mine's... I have a very poor intellectual stretch when it comes to the choice of video games. And this is no exception, and it's Oblivion Override, which is a really, really good game, but is as kind of like following the lead as much as it possibly can, as opposed to carving out any kind of niche. And it's kind of like Dead Cells, basically. It's very, very similar to Dead Cells. It looks a bit different. The weapons are a bit different. A couple of the moves are slightly different, but pretty much essentially it's a reskin Dead Cells in all but name. And all the better for...
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at it now.
I mean, is it even reskinned?
Yeah, well, I know. So some of it, you'd be like, hang on.
The first bit that came up, I went, no, that is Dead Cells.
Yeah. So, you could consider that a bit cheeky. But the level layouts are quite different. They don't look it, because obviously it's that style of game, 2D side-scrolling. Unless it's doing something very, very visually weird, you're not going to see much difference. But yeah, there's some nice level layouts. A good use of being able to dash both vertically as well as horizontally, and a little bit of wall climbing. So it's chucked a lot of kind of Metroid stuff in there, and Metroidvania stuff in there, and a lot of Dead Cells stuff in there. It's a bit roguelike, it's a little bit country, it's a little bit rock and roll. It's just a mishmash of everything, and would never win any major plaudits. But what it does really well. So I've been, because I've struggled with a couple of narrative games recently. They've just not clicked with me at all, and even sort of slightly dumber ones that appeal to me. And so I just went back to the well and was just like, I'm just going to play something that's utterly dumb, and it meets that perfectly for me.
And it's like you've ordered Dead Cells out of Aldi, right? In terms of... Right, I won't say like, I know the comment says, when you order so-and-so off a Wish. This isn't a Wish, doesn't look like a Wish copy of Dead Cells or anything like that. It looks like quality. That's why I'm saying Aldi, because it's quality, but just with a slightly different name.
Yeah, no, that's good enough analogy for me. It's, it certainly is. It's one of those, like...
Where you have to double take, like the salad cream. In Aldi, you kind of go, is that? Oh, no, it's not Heinz, it's whatever it is, Stockwell's or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure if the guy who actually developed this game is listening to this podcast, hi, I'm sure he fucking hates our guts by this point. But,
No, if he doesn't realise he's just remade Dead Cells, then he's in for a rude awakening, isn't he?
Well, I'll tell you this, right? This makes it slightly worse, but it's not as good as Dead Cells. So
but what is?
Yeah. But no, it's a good enough game. It's good fun, and it's kind of worth your money. I'd say. I know this shouldn't really come into it, but cost of living and everything, it is comparatively expensive, I would say. Like, I know it's newer than Dead Cells and stuff like that, but I think Dead Cells is the same price or cheaper, and it's kind of like, well, unless you've met and exceeded what that does, I would say, you know, it's a little bit difficult asking that of the market at the moment. But money aside, perfectly fine if you like that kind of thing. Go ahead and have a go.
I've added it to the wish list. It looks intriguing enough. Actually, right, they could have put he could have really gone for it and put a SteamWorld skin over it, because they're all like mechy type robot things, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they're in that vein.
SteamWorld Cells, they could have called it.
Ooh, so sell out to the SteamWorld people. That's what you should do.
Yeah, do it. No, it does look good. It's on my wish list, I think. I think I'll look at that one down. Like, it's early access still, looking at it at the moment. So, yeah, I'm fine. If someone's going to make a clone and you're going to make a good clone, then fair enough, innit?
I'd say so.
I prefer this where it's not pretending, it's not called like Deed Cells or something like that, or Dead Calls or something like that, like you used to get with the movies
yeah.
when they were like blatant rip-offs. You know, at least it's trying to differentiate itself a little bit. But yeah, no, it looks cool. And we're not being mean. It's out of love.
Yeah, let's just say that.
No, it is. It's out of love.
Well, yeah.
We've said before, we don't mind. If you are going to go for it, at least wear your heart on your sleeve properly. Don't hide it.
Yeah.
And yeah, someone's just gone, I want more Dead Cells, so I'm just going to make it.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Fair enough.
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
Gotta get that green. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not an asset flip, because it clearly looks like they've made it themselves.
Yeah,
so
definitely,
win-win.
Yeah, I like the art style. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, do you know what? If you could take something that's existed, do a little bit of work to it, and flip it for profit, right? That's absolutely fine. Sometimes you can even make an entire game out of that whole concept, Stu.
You can. But why do I feel this is leading somewhere?
Because I've been playing House Flipper 2, Stu.
Very good. I like that segue.
I know. That was actually a really good segue that time, weren't it? That actually worked.
It works.
My segue game's been down over the past few weeks. That's back. Basically, House Flipper came out, I think it was like 2018 or something like that. It came out, and it was around the time where there was loads of these simulations, like life simulation type things, and they was, let's say, they varied in quality, shall we? But House Flipper was one that kind of stood out, along with like your Power Wash and your Lawnmower Simulator, where they were good. They were actually good games, and it got a bit of a following. Plenty of DLC was added to it that actually added to the game. Like, they was almost like old school expansion packs, like you'd get with The Sims and things like that in the day. And it added to it, but there was a few quirks in the game that it was like, we need to. If it had this, it'd be just so much better and stuff. And House Flipper 2 came out this past week, so I've picked it up because it's one game I've really been looking forward to. And pretty much it's House Flipper, but better. All the little quirks that are in there, such as building and laying things out. It's got like snap to grid properly done now, and it works. Like, you can do freeform movement as well. The way you paper tiles and wallpaper, the way you sell things or get rid of trash. It's like highlight dirt. All those sort of things are all in there. It's not tedious. The upgrades all come pretty quick. So within a few hours, you've just got all the upgrades that you need, and you can just kick on and have fun. It's got a story that drives the main game, which starts off introducing things. It starts off where you just go and do a bit of a house clearance by selling all the rubbish or picking up all the rubbish and selling bits they don't want. Then it introduces painting and wallpapering and tiling. And then eventually, remodelling and buying stuff and all those kind of bits. And then it goes, now you can buy your own properties, do them up and flip them for a profit. That's the idea of the game. And it's all that is like basically the same as what was in the last game, but just improved. Apart from painting. Painting's a bit shit. In all fairness, excuse the language. That's the one thing I'd like to see changed. It's not bad, but I think I put in my written review that'll be going up on the Indie Roundup. Whereas everything else seems like a bit of a step forward, this is more of a sideways step. And it's just kind of like, it wasn't bad enough to have changed it to this. But I see why you've done it, but it wasn't needed. So, but yeah, that's the only thing. What you can do now, And what was one of the biggest complaints of House Flipper was you were stuck completely only doing the internals of a property. You couldn't add extensions, you couldn't like build your own properties. Well, now there's a sandbox mode, and in the sandbox mode, you can pretty much build your own house from scratch, lay it out, do the rooms upstairs, downstairs, whatever you want to do, beach house, farmhouse, city house, bungalow,
dog house, outhouse,
our house, stuff like that. HMV, Virgin, I don't know. I was thinking our price when I done that, but that doesn't have the word house in it. But yeah, you can do all of that, and I've got to get used to the building material, like the building stuff, build my own property and that. But it's starting to add those bits that were missing, and it's just better in every single way. The only thing I'm a bit gutted about, and I get why it hasn't happened, because I think it's a slightly new engine. The DLC you have on the first one doesn't carry over. You can't play the DLC, but that would feel like I'm criticising them for the sake of criticising them when I can't think of many games that bring its original game DLC across.
True.
But yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, relaxing. I've put like multiple hours, like I think I'm on like 15 hours already on this, and I dip in for like a couple of hours a day. Sometimes just tidying up an house, sometimes doing the decorating. I'm in the middle of flipping a property at the moment where I've just done like the kitchen. I knocked the kitchen through and put like a central island with some bits around it, like seats. Painted the wall slightly different. A small compact bathroom that's got the shower and everything in it. Knocked the window out. Put a new window in a different position. Moved the doorways a bit on one. I had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, it's just brilliant. I love these sort of games. I really, really do, because we spoke about it before. They've got a catharsism that shooting aliens in the head can only go so far. This is about cleaning up and painting and decorating and stuff. I don't want to do that in real life. My hands are too delicate, but I can do it here.
Yeah.
And it's bloody brilliant.
Good. Yeah. I do get like genuinely mystified at why people want to build and do jobs in their video games, but I recognise that it happens, and I am here to support it. So yeah, no, good on you.
Where else though can you flip a house, like do all your work to it, you put it up for auction, and you find out you make $67 profit?
That's ludicrous.
That was like a stab to the heart. I refused the bids, and I'm going to go back and do more work on the property, see if I can bring its value up a bit. Because I was like, oh my God, I spent ages getting this thing looking how I wanted it to look. Bid came in after what I'd spent on remodelling and like actual purchase of the house, $67 profit. I was like, what? That's not fair.
That's being spat on.
I don't even want that part of realism in it. So,
precisely.
Yeah, that was a shame. And it's only a short one because it's Christmas. Just a couple of quick mentions of a game. Well, a couple, just the one. That is going to get honourable mentions when we do our game of the year. I don't think I can put it in as my top list, otherwise it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I didn't realise it came out this year in early access. And it's now released 1.0, and that's Against the Storm, which I spoke about before. And that's the roguelike city builder where you have to manage loads of mini settlements rather than just a big settlement, and there's impending storms, and you've got to manage beavers and humans and lizards and harpies, get them to all live together, survive the storms, make sure they can expand and get food and all the different things, make one blue line go up while stopping the red line go up to win. It's utterly brilliant. You get it for about 15 quid. It's got a 1.0 release. I've wrote about it last week on my indie game roundup. Yeah, pick it up if you like city builders in any way, shape or form, because it's absolutely glorious. And I forgot it came out earlier this year originally on early access, but now it's out.
Nice. Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah, I remember you gushing about it before.
Yes, and that's obviously the side of quality.
Totally.
As you know, Stu.
I do.
That's Stu's like, take that one off the wish list. Grace likes it too much.
Struck off, yeah.
You have a level. You look at the audio levels, and when you get certain spikes over a certain level, you go, right, okay, that game's off now. Brad's got too high on the spike level.
Yeah, I should get some AI just to do this for me. Be a lot quicker.
That's how we should do our scoring. How much spike could Brad put on the audio?
Yeah. That's it.
Or how much of there's just a green block of audio sound because Brad hasn't taken a breath talking about this one game.
Yeah.
Then you know it's shit.
It's a good enough metric for me.
Yes. Short one this week. So, with that being said, Mr. Stew, Santa Claus, I know you've got to get out and deliver presents to all the children's.
Yeah? Have I? Oh,
yeah.
No. God, I've got enough on. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, I'll do the whole world. Presents for the whole world as well. I can do
screw them.
Oh, yeah, screw them, yeah.
Yeah. Only do the young ones who really count. The older ones, just tell them you don't exist anymore.
Yeah. That's the easy way.
Simple, really.
Yeah.
So I will let you get off. Go make sure Mrs. Claus is happy. I don't know where I'm going with that one.
Let's just back away from that a little bit. Just a touch. Yeah, make sure that the reindeer are happy, ready for the big delivery day. Yeah.
Go give the reindeer their special powder, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I sprinkle.
I'm not saying there's a hidden message there. Rudolph with his red nose, in the old reindeer barn. He's nicknamed Danny Anna Westbrook. Just saying.
Poor woman, she's been through a lot. But yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm rambling now, Stu. So do you know what? I think it's a good time for me to shut up.
Okie dokie. Well, yeah, as usual with everybody, hope you have a good Christmas period if you celebrate it. And if not, that at least you can, coast off the back of other people's enjoyment, which is always a good thing to do, especially if it gets you some time off work, which I also hope you have. But in the meantime, listen to all our content. We've got tons of back episodes that we don't mention very often, of course. This is episode 202, so got 201, if my maths is correct, episodes that you can listen to. I'd say at least 5% of them are any cop, so go for it. Look at all our stuff on the website. Join us on Discord if you wish to chat, and in the meantime, stay safe and stay sane.